Picture this. It's New Year's Eve. You're energized, you're motivated, you're going to work out every single day, drink a gallon of water, and eat perfectly. And then, a week later, you find yourself sitting on the couch with a pint of Ben & Jerry's, eating straight from the container, wondering, what went wrong? Does this sound familiar? This all-or-nothing approach is exactly why people fail at budgeting. On this channel, I help families get their finances in order, and I cannot tell you how many times I've heard, I don't know how to budget. I don't know how to start. I set up a budget, and a week later I blow it. So you quit. And the truth is, the problem isn't you, it's your approach. You're trying to overhaul your entire financial life overnight. You're tracking 15 different categories, trying to cut expenses in every single one of those each month. And you're trying to do it all perfectly. It's just all too much. So let's simplify this. Instead of 15 categories each month, let's track 2. I want you to go back and look at your spending the last 2 to 3 months. Pull out both your credit and debit card statements. And I want you to categorize the expenses into these 2 categories. The first is fixed expenses. These are the expenses that you do not have control over every month. I like to think of these expenses being like your mortgage or rent, utilities, minimum debt payments, things like that. Typically, you're charged a certain amount and you don't really have a whole lot of control over what that amount is. The next category is your variable spending. This is the category that you do have control over. These would be things like groceries, takeout, shopping, maybe it's kids' activities, things like that. Just 2 categories. And now here's the key. For the next 2 to 3 months, I want you to track all of your flexible spending. This isn't about being perfect. It's not about assigning dollar amounts to each category. It's all about building habits and raising awareness as to where your money goes each month. After a few months of tracking these expenses, I want you to sit down and ask yourself, what is the biggest area for improvement? And then choose 1 category. Not 5, not your entire budget, just 1. For most families, what I typically hear are the groceries. After reviewing your budget, let's say you end up going with groceries as your category that you'd like to work on lowering. Now, I want you to set a realistic number here, based off what you've been spending the last 3 months, but lower it just a little bit. The goal is to decrease spending. And up next, I want you to make a simple plan. What are some things that you can do, either as an individual or as a family, to cut back in whatever this category is? So based off this example, if we're doing groceries, maybe your goal is to cook at home more from scratch versus buying convenience meals. Maybe it's cutting back on snacks that you're purchasing. It could be shopping at cheaper stores, or honestly just keeping your butt out of the grocery store in general. Now your focus is clear. You're not trying to fix everything. You're just trying to plug the biggest leak. And here's what happens. You start seeing progress. You build confidence in your ability to budget. And prove to yourself that you actually can do this. And then you have the opportunity down the road to add another category if you feel like you have the capacity to do so. Or you could keep it simple and just assign a total dollar amount that you don't want to exceed each month when it comes to your flexible spending. Either way, you're winning. And the key is, you don't need a perfect budget. You do not need to track 15 different categories in order to make progress. And you certainly don't need to overhaul your entire financial life overnight. You just need a budget that you can stick to. So let me ask, what is the one area in your budget that you could see some serious improvement? I'd love to hear from you in the comments. And if this is the kind of content you enjoy, realistic budgeting for busy families, don't forget to hit subscribe. I'd love to have you follow along. I post new videos each week. Until next time.